welcome to number 2 of the Project Box interviews. And today we are lucky to have Sue Spargo. I have to admit, when I went through my project boxes, I do believe Sue is the gold medal winner for unfinished projects in my life. She may not like to hear that, but what that says to me is that I love everything Sue, and I keep jumping ahead before I've finished behind. So I will be showing you some of my unfinished projects. Don't judge me, Sue, but I'm hoping to get some inspiration to get them going. So tell us, first of all, welcome.
Oh, well, great. Thanks for having me.
Tell us where you're located. Where's home base right now?
Okay, so I live in Uniontown, Ohio, which is about an hour south of Cleveland.
So one could fly into Cleveland when we can fly more freely, and you actually have a brick and mortar shop, right?
We do, and you could actually fly into Akron, Canton, which is about 5 miles from where we are located.
Mm-hmm. So, which was on my bucket list when this all happened. But I know that one of my friends, Terry, actually bought a van.
She did.
drove to the shop.
Yes, she did. It was a long way, but it was great to see her. We had her here for a few days.
Yeah, and she taunted the rest of us with her glorious pictures. So, but your roots are in South Africa, right?
That's right. Yes, I was born in Zambia, which is in Africa, and then I was educated in South Africa, and I was there until my early 30s.
Until your early 30s. And then you immigrated here. And was Ohio your first stop?
No, the first stop was Connecticut, then Nashville, Tennessee, Salt Lake City, then Ohio. So I've lived in 4 different states since I've lived here. Yeah.
Wow. So what's your temperature right now in Ohio?
Gee, it's pretty nice. We've had very, very cold weather the last few weeks and a lot of snow, but it's warmed up a little bit and the sun is out. So it sort of feels a little bit like spring.
Yeah, today feels like spring here. Blue skies, no snow or rain. That's always good because where I moved is pretty rainy. That's why there's so much foliage,
Yes.
foliage. Yeah. And some of those daffodils are starting to pop a little bit, which is nice.
Really, we haven't quite started with that, but hopefully in the next few weeks.
So what are the restrictions right now for your shop? I mean, are you open Monday through Friday?
Yeah. We are open. We open actually Tuesday through Saturday. And we haven't done a lot of advertising because I just don't feel 100% comfortable yet, but we are open. You can make an appointment if you want, or you can just pop by. And we would love to see you. You just have to wear a mask. And yeah.
Do you have any workshops scheduled at the shop?
Yeah, I'm starting to do just a 1-day class every month, and it's around a design for a country. So every month we're doing a little display from different countries. Like we did Japan, we're going to do Africa, India, and have fun little things for purchase from those countries. And I'm doing a little project which is linked to that country. So that's we started this month or last month with that, and I have a group from California coming in April for a 5-day workshop. So they are all vaccinated and happy to take a flight and come. So it's looking up. It's sort of fun because I've really missed that part of what I do. I love the teaching part.
Because now it's my own opinion, but you're like a rock star in the stitching world. And so I know there are people that follow you kind of like people would follow rock stars for concerts, because having taken a few workshops, there are some people that I see that seem like they've been to every workshop.
Yeah, I'm very fortunate. I have a lot of followers that are very loyal. But that has also encouraged me to expand, what I do. So I'm always trying new techniques, new different things to teach. So they've sort of grown up with me, a lot of them.
Yeah, they have, and
Yeah.
then they some of them also teach your type of stitching at their respective locations wherever they are.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
That's right.
I was bummed that my Tanca Verde Madeline Island workshop wasn't going to pan out quite like I
Yeah.
had hoped it would. Of course, I can't even get into Arizona right now, waiting for the blankety blank vaccine, but because you want to stay, you want to stay where you can get the second shot if you can get the first shot, so we've kind of been hunkered down here waiting for our number to be called. And
I know. Hopefully it won't be too long now for us.
yeah, hopefully it won't be too long.
Yeah.
And I miss all having taken the workshop at Tanca Verde that you had in was that 20 or 19?
It was 20,
20.
because
Right after that is when everything went. Yeah, it was 20. Gosh, doesn't that just seem a lifetime ago?
it does actually, because straight after that I went to Santa Fe, and that's when it all sort of started to fall apart. And then I haven't traveled actually since then. So it's been over a year.
Oh, isn't that something?
Yeah.
It's hard to believe, especially for someone like you who, and myself, who like to travel and travel a lot. My Alaskan airline Visa card that I could get free flights has just been racking up the points with no place to go. So you have, how many children do you have?
I have four
children.
Four children.
All of them are
boys,
involved?
2 girls.
Are they all involved in your?
No, 3 of them are involved. My other son is a fashion designer, so he's in fashion.
But it's all artistic.
Yes.
They're all involved in some form of that. Because I know, let's see, let me just jump into some of this pile, because this pile is really big. Let me see here. My most recent was this.
Oh, yes.
Remember that?
Yeah, you did that in
at Tanca Verde. Yeah. So
we did weaving. That was
great. Isn't
that
fabulous how that turned out?
Yeah, really cool.
So I just need to, it's practically done.
Yeah.
But then what happens is that you come out with something else. And then I run over there, and I start something entirely different. And this somehow gets lost. And I actually bought this ribbon. You bring product to your shop, to the workshops, and that ribbon was so perfect for that.
It looks great. Yeah, we just did a feature this morning on all those ribbons.
Oh, did you?
In a classroom, yeah.
Oh, they're fabulous. No, I'm going to finish that. I have all the inserts for it. Yeah.
Yes. All right. The challenge is on.
Right. But the problem, and I've told you this before, the problem is that right when I get sign up for a block of the month, you also release something to go on a bag. And haven't I complained to you before that once I get the bag, I can't.
Well, that's
stop. Isn't that great?
Yeah,
Like using it, which is great. She must love you, the Yazzie bag person. But I love this, and I felt like I completed a whole project when I did this, you know.
Good.
So, but the block of the month is not done.
All right.
Block of the month is still in a bag. Okay, I hope you're not judging. Let's see. Here's my block of the month for Cuppa. I'm very organized.
All right.
And you release, and I know I drive you crazy with the way I do this sometimes, but you release a book once the block of the month is completed.
Yes. Yeah.
Then a few months later, the book is released.
Yeah, we're at, just so you know, we're quite far behind on publication right now. So we are trying to get ourselves in a good position so that Jason can get really stuck into all the book production. But they're coming. They're coming.
Well, let me tell you, everything that has the word production in it is behind.
Yes. Oh, yeah. We know. It's been a tough year for that, but
right. I want to remodel my bathroom here, and I don't even begin to start it because I know that the sink or the tub is going to come from somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you see, I did.
You got started.
Yeah, I did start it. Great. I got a couple blocks done, but
all right. Well, good. It's good to take them out again.
Yes. See, that's what I'm hoping. Like this one, I'm still working on these right here, but all of this is done.
There you go.
Yeah. So that's the thing is that I have, when you are part of the block of the month, and let me tell you, I told myself I had to finish something. One of these block of the months before I started a new one. And I am happy that the block of the months can't really publish their photos because I know I'm going to be sick. I'm going to have to get the book for Truffle Duffle. I just know it because, you know, Sandy will write me and just tell me, oh, she's working on this or that, and she's looking for fabric, and I'm like, I just know I'm going to be sick when I see that. I just didn't do it when I signed up. And my squash squad, that, you know, that whole concept of giving back to the community with these Instagram classes was so generous. And so naturally I jumped on board because why not? And I got my first block done, but it went on my
that's good. That's great.
Doesn't it look perfect on there?
It looks great.
Yeah. I know you're laughing. I know you're laughing with me, aren't you?
Yes. Oh, I'm sure we're all the same.
Yes.
I've had to do that, just pull out a whole lot of things that I've started on. And I think I find it easier if I make a pile, but just concentrate on one or two. And then every little bit you add to it, you know, it gets done. But sometimes when you look at the whole mound, it's often very hard to get started.
Yeah, when I brought everything out in preparation for this, I was like, holy moly. But I like that. But now having seen them all together, I'm very excited again, you know, and this is what I'd hoped for by talking to you.
Good.
And Jason, he's doing a lot of your product development, right? I mean, he made the little
he designed our new templates.
Yeah,
so quite a range of them now, and we're using them for all sorts of interesting stitching. So yeah, and right now he's working on all the packaging. So we're about to launch it all for wholesale market, which will be good as well.
So normally Quilt Market, they're going to have a virtual market. Is that what they're doing?
I guess we haven't signed up for any of it yet. We're just trying to figure out, you know, where.
I think they're all trying to figure out what to do.
And you know, everything takes a lot of time and preparation. So trying to figure out what we're going to be involved in, I think.
Yeah. So did you have your coffee this morning?
I did.
Did you
I
take
did
it black or do you take
it with cream.
with cream? And what kind of, like a flavored cream? I'm just,
No, I like it just no flavoring in my coffee.
Yeah. Yeah, I switched to just black coffee this week because my son and daughter-in-law were talking about this program they have been doing. It seems like everyone's doing it, called some kind of fasting. And so you're not supposed to activate your insulin before the certain hour. It's not near as satisfying.
No, I've tried it too. Occasionally I'll have it black, but I do like a little bit of cream.
Yeah, me too. And for us, it's almond milk, but that still is so good. I might have to rethink my commitment to that program. Well, I see the quilt behind you, and I saw the very first block of that before you even launched the block of the month.
Okay.
And that was because we were on a cruise ship.
Okay.
And Amy was stitching that cute little house, and I was like all over her. Here's supposed to be this secret. And I'm like, what is that? I need that. What are you working on? So I have that also.
You do. Okay.
In a big big project box. That's why this is called the project box. Let's see. I know I started it. There's the pile down at the bottom. I try to keep them all. I know there's one block. There's at least one. Oh, there it is. There's at least one block done. Oh, yeah. Oh, it's not totally done. I have to say it's not totally done, but it is at least, I started the stitching on it.
All right.
Yeah. And I know you're going in the back of your mind, you're going, oh, she fused those little wool pieces. I know. There's always one person in class that the teacher just shakes her head and keeps on walking. But I love that quilt. Now, do you think in color first or design? Where are you coming from? Like on that particular quilt behind you?
I think in design first. I guess I come up with the idea, and the last few quilts there's been a lot more research that I've done on them. I've sort of enjoying the fact that I'm learning and teaching as I'm going. So I, like when I did the trees, we researched the trees, and they were, the bark and the fruit and the leaves and the animals that would inhabit the tree. So that's a little bit like the mushrooms this year again. I've researched a lot about them. So I find then they are sort of meaningful, and you get sort of really into it. So that's the new direction I've gone with a lot of them.
Well, it makes it more fun for you too.
Yes. Oh, yeah, because I like to learn with everything I do. So, I try new techniques and new applications of stitches and new threads, often through the block of the month. So it keeps it interesting, and yeah.
So were you ever a traditional quilter?
Yes, yeah, I was. I pieced for many years. Then I did a lot of applique, actually cotton applique and flannel when that was really popular. And then it must be about, 18 or 20 years ago that I made my first little wool quilt, and I never looked back. I just love the hand-dyed,
the texture. So do you dye your own wool?
Yeah, we dye all our wool here in our studio. We have a dye shop here. So we dye a lot of different textures and different wools. Yeah.
Well, that must be a process in itself, because you have to get the gray goods or the base wool product to dye it. And I'm telling you, when you even mail order something, it takes forever, you know.
Well, no, it's been a very hard year because our mill actually shut down a year ago.
Oh,
And we've heard that today they are opening. So once we can confirm that, we will be very, very excited. But yeah, they've been closed for a whole year. So it's been really difficult to source wool, and even like the quality that we like.
right. Because I'm telling you, it really, your wool is fantastic. And the part of it that's important for me as a consumer is that quality. It has to have a certain feel, and then you want a certain color. It's not the wool of our parents' day, you know.
No.
And you can really tell when they start deviating from that quality because of either availability or whatever, or choice, that it makes the project look totally different, doesn't it?
It does. It does. Yeah.
I just can't stop looking at that project behind you.
Oh.
The colors are so fantastic, which brings me to my next project box.
All right. Which
Aren't you excited about this? So this was a project that was in your early days before your stitching went gaga.
Oh, yeah. All right.
Yeah. Oh, now see, I don't even have the book with me. Oh, there it is. This one.
Yes, Crimson Tweed.
Yeah.
It's actually print now, I think, too.
Oh, the new embellished kind? Oh, this is out of print?
Yeah.
I'm gonna have you sign this next time I see you. This could be valuable to my children when I'm dead and gone. They could sell it on eBay or something.
Yeah, I don't think that had any stitching on, because I have not learned to embroider.
No,
so, yeah.
But that's the fun part, is that I saw Monica Jensen, you know, one of your fans, at Cave Creek in Arizona, had done it in the more prim colors. And so I went crazy. You know, she was actually, now that I think about it, she was actually working on this, the stitching, the embellishment stitching on the cruise.
Yeah, I think she bought it at a store there, and she did a lot of stitching on it. So
right, and she and Phil, who's another groupie, we're all groupies, aren't we? You are a rock star. Had done, we're working on different parts of this, and I fell in love with it. That's the neat thing about your projects, is if you didn't get a chance to get on board with the block of the month, you know that book is going to come out down the line, and that you could, if the color didn't appeal to you, you could change it to an entirely different color if you wanted. So that, now, see, I haven't had this out till this conversation. Now I'm all excited about it.
Well, the challenge is to finish it before Christmas.
Well, wait till you see the rest of this pile. I tell you, it's an addiction. Let me tell you, Sue Spargo is an addiction. So before I get into even more stuff here, I got an email from you about the cruises next year.
Yes.
So talk a little bit about that, because I'm telling you, I don't think I'll get on a big cruise ship anytime soon. But the river cruises,
yes,
oh my gosh,
they are really fun, because they about 200 people.
Yes.
I have done one from Amsterdam through Holland, and I'm scheduled to do one for Christmas, the Christmas one this year, and then one to the south of France, and one to Portugal, and then a Christmas cruise at the end of 2022 as well. So
I bet you there's people already signed up on those.
Yes, there are.
And I know their names.
Well, a couple of them were postponed because they were supposed to be last year. And so
Oh,
we took them out 2 years, hoping that
uh-huh,
things would be much better then. So
uh-huh.
it'll be fun to get out and travel again and see the
Oh,
world and be inspired.
right, because that was what I was looking forward to in Santa Fe, was that that specifically was the first time when I took the workshop at Tanca Verde. Several of your students had come from uh, the previous Santa Fe workshop.
Yes.
And Ariane Zercher had this quilt that you had them go to the museum and be inspired
Yes.
by
Yeah.
something in the museum. And so and these incredible quilts came out of that, which is, you know me, is a little bit a step out of my comfort zone of give me a pattern, you know. So I can
But
see.
that workshop though it's designed for me to help you, um, you know, design something that inspires you. So it's you know you're not just left to just do your own thing. It for those that need help, you know, we talk a lot about it and draw up some designs. So
Well,
it's
that's why this one is so precious to me, because it is the first time I actually went without a
yeah,
pattern,
that's right. Yeah.
you know. And this whole thing that you helped me with, I just can't get over it. Every time someone sees it, they go, "Is that woven?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I have the tool." I have the tool. And it was so perfect, you know, and it really has made me feel that there's potential there. There's
Yeah, it's
potential
your
there.
story. I mean, that's what I love. It's like putting yourself into a piece, a little bit about, you know,
Yeah,
your adventures in Arizona.
right. And
Yeah.
that's that quilt that you made with the South African animals, and you know that,
Folktale.
yeah, folk tales. That is just you know, there's, you could look at that 100 times and see something different, I imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it probably for you elicits some memory.
Yes. Yeah, it does. From my childhood. Yeah, that's
Mhm.
how when I drew it, it took me a couple of years to be able to put it on paper, but it was all about
Mhm.
my memories from living there and when I was young.
Now, was your did you come from a family line of seamstress, stitchers, or
Well,
crafters?
no, my mom was a seamstress. I mean, she sewed all her clothes. My dad is very artistic and always introduced, you know, my sister and I to different forms of art throughout our childhood and even into our teens. So I'd always had an interest in art. Not that I didn't go to college for it. I was a nurse, you know, but I had always done some sort of handwork or machine work from when I was a child. But I had never embroidered. That just happened.
Oh,
Um,
wow.
we knitted a lot and we sewed a lot when you know in South Africa as children, but embroidery was not something that I was introduced to.
So you're a knitter also.
Yeah, yeah, I've knitted since I was very young.
Oh, that's fascinating. That's something I didn't know about you. You
Oh,
could knit sweaters and
yeah.
socks and things like that.
The problem is everything's handwork. It takes a long time.
That's what my biggest complaint is. I'm drawn to
Yeah,
any kind of handwork. I mean, applique, you know, the embroidery stitchings, regular embroidery. I mean,
yeah.
everything is handwork, and I have it spread out. Do you do this? It's all over your house, so no matter where you're sitting down,
Yes, there's piles.
piles, piles
Baskets
of
of
things.
thread, just like this, you know, baskets of
Oh
thread.
yeah, I love that. Oh, and that brings me to the next project. This one I am like, uh, we started this. Now wait a second.
Was
This
that
was
in,
that.
is this, it says $100 class?
Yes,
Was it in Sisters?
must have been in Sisters.
Might have been,
I'm
yeah.
losing track of time. Do you find that in COVID you lose track of all time?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't know, it just is gone by quite quickly, really. It's,
Yeah. It's so different. Well, this one though, I'm really motivated to, I know Monica helped me with the colors, just making sure, because I wanted that. That's what I'm loving about your Instagram posts right now is the palette is so different.
yeah.
It's not bright like behind you. You got something piled there in front of you?
I have my little peach one.
See, look at that. Oh, and it's like all, it's not like symmetrical or
No.
yeah.
I'm working on these for my stitchology class at
Uh-huh.
Madeline Highland, showing different.
Oh yeah, and I have several friends signed up for that.
Mhm.
I think they labeled that as a master class, don't they? Because
The thing about it is, I just want everyone to know the stitches in the book, and then we'll go from there. So it's really for people who have done or can open the book and can do this stitch, so that we can experiment and play more with the ideas.
because with the different threads, you could use the same stitch, but it's going to look entirely different.
That's right.
Depending on
Yeah.
the thread. Yeah. Okay.
I have one here that I'm working on. I think on doing embroidery, like you said, my linen sampler.
Oh yeah. Oh.
It was designed off old pottery in Orvieto, Italy.
Oh
And so,
yes.
well, every Friday I'm actually doing a post on this right now, and just working through it. I have some people that are, tagging it and are working along with me. So that's sort of fun.
Now, do you put anything on the back of your linen?
I don't. Actually, and because I've done so much embroidery on wool, I can't even use a hoop. So I do it without a hoop, and this is quite a nice heavy Belgian linen, so it keeps its shape nicely.
And do you carry that in your shop, like if someone was going to order it?
Yeah, yes, yeah. It's our Belgian linen sampler.
And what's your favorite embroidery thread?
Oh my. I love them all because they all have a different texture. This one I'm doing out of the natural dyed Japanese sashiko threads.
Oh,
We're new in our shop, so I'm trying those. But yeah, I like to use all of them.
And see, there I'm also addicted to sashiko, so it's it's handwork. It's all handwork here. I mean, my machine probably will last me my lifetime because it doesn't get enough motor use.
Yes, yeah.
But I just I just have to show off my little tiny hexie and the bee charm. Isn't that cute?
Oh, that's darling.
It's
look
so
at
cute.
that.
And this is that ribbon that I got from you.
Okay, yes, that you couched around there.
Yeah.
It's great.
It really is. You really have to think about how much you want to do or how little. And I think that's why I put it down. Oh, look at here. I'm so proud of myself. I did this technique like old embroiderers did where you put a coin in there.
That's right. That's a trellis stitch. Looks great.
And so that if I run out of money, I'm going to dig that dime out. Go buy myself a cup of coffee.
All right.
Okay, here's one that I'm a little bit embarrassed about, but it's going to get done. And the reason I get stumped, and I feel like I'm talking to my stitch therapist. Dear stitch therapist, if I had a couch, I would lay down on it. But the problem I have is that choice. so many choices.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
finally figured out with this one that to help me get it done is to decrease the choice.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
this was a workshop way back in the day with you and Tony.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Remember that one?
Yes, I do. And look at
Yes.
those flowers. You've embellished the flowers.
Yeah, but see, not all of them are embellished. So what's happened, what I figured out I had to do was I would get stumped. Oh, and look at that neat little hexie. Oh, that's going on there. Is the choice for the stitches. So I realized the way to do this for me is if I make choices for a blue flower, the blue flower on the other side is going to have the same stitches. So at least I only have to make one choice, for all the stitches.
But
And now, what?
I was going to say, in creative stitching, though, there are sections. So it's like outline stitches.
Yes.
Stitches, circular stitches. So sometimes that helps to narrow down a small selection of stitches for choices.
Weren't you going to come out with a bug book?
Yes, that's on my.
You told me that back when I did this.
I know, it's on our list of to-dos.
We want the bug book.
I know.
Because I remember on the cruise, one of the gals did a caterpillar, and I was just like gaga over it, gaga over it. So I have learned so much from you. Let me tell you, I'm going to ask you one more question and then we'll wrap this up. Let you get back to your stitching and working. That little program that you're doing with the different countries.
Yes.
It's still bouncing around my brain. You are going to do a book, right?
I don't know. I don't know.
I want to do that, and I can't go to your shop and do the little country once a month or week, whatever you're doing it. So when do the masses get to? Because I love that idea.
Well, I'll have to work on it. The hardest part is the production of the books. It's we've just had a lot of, it's been a hard year, and so it's we're getting to a point that we staffed again, and Jason is getting a little bit of space, so we're hoping to get on with the books, and we're just not short of ideas. It's just to be able to get it time.
It must be so frustrating because I want to say, in my selfish, needy way, to make Jason's coffee break shorter. and tell him to get on the stick and get that book out.
Well, hopefully we will. We will.
Because that whole concept of making a stitch project about the world is, gosh, wouldn't we all need that?
Yes. Yeah.
That all need that, huh?
Yes.
Well, thank you for taking the time.
Oh, it's been great. It's good to see you again.
Yes, we will. Someday our paths will cross sooner than later. I'm counting on it sooner than later.
So if you get to visit, that would be fantastic.
Yeah, and I'll put links to your Instagram and your shop in the description box, and we'll make it all happen. We'll connect up again.
Okay, great, Anna. You take care.
You too. Thank you. Bye-bye, everybody.